everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and today I'm going to be reviewing Power Book 2, Ghost Season 2, Episode 8, Drug Related. How are y'all doing today, y'all? Because I'm going to tell you how I'm doing. I'm happy. You know why? Because Ding Dong, which is dead. Professor Carrie, that is dead. Yes! Finally! She gone! And look, she better be dead next week's episode, okay? I don't want it to be nothing that she hanging on by a thread or they found her just in time. I need this hoe dead. She should have been dead, okay? Lord, just know, in real life, I would never wish for someone's death. We just talking about TV, but she dead, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Carrie. All right? You lasted longer than you should have, but at least you lived a long life. At least you had a lot of community pain. You lived a really good life, Carrie. But let's go ahead and get to the episode. So, let's talk about Tariq first, and then we're gonna end with the Tejadas, okay? Because that whole dinner table scene, that dinner table scene made me think back to Why Did I Get Married? When they figured out that, you know, his wife was cheating too. So let's just start with Tariq, because Tariq actually for once has the tamer story of the episode. So the episode opens up. Tariq is now in court, and Jenny and Davis, they are both doing their opening statements. Now, what sent me in this whole mode, first of all, Jenny was doing a damn thing, okay? She pretty much figured out everything that Davis was probably going to say, what the defense would be. And honestly, when he asked her, like, hey, like, did you give her the playbook? Because it seemed like she know exactly what it is. And after we saw how Sax had all these loose lips in this episode, I wouldn't be shocked if he told her a little something, okay? So I was dying laughing because whose auntie was in the front making all these facial expressions? Baby, that is not how you're a juror, okay? I'm sure they told y'all, do not be sitting up there making facial expressions. And when he was like, why would someone with this type of GPA do that? She was like, I mean, yeah, bitch, like, how are they doing that? I was dying laughing the entire time. But we see that Jenny basically, you know, brings up the tape, which causes Davis to have a sidebar, and the judge agrees that, you know, the defense has to be able to see the prosecution's discovery. And so he is granted, you know, to be able to listen to the tape, but also the witness has to come forward in court and actually testify, which is something that Lauren did not want to do in the first place. And so we have little side stories that's happening simultaneously while Tariq is basically like fighting for his life not to be in jail. And Effie and Brayden have teamed up. They go to meet with this hippie looking white dude named Sweaty, which I was just like, so y'all meeting with somebody named Sweaty, you thought that he was gonna have good product, Brayden? Like, have that make sense for me, okay? Brayden about to just let the dude take his money, not gonna test nothing, just nothing at all right? And so Effie, she tastes the product. She was like, oh, hell to the no. We're not doing this rat poison mess. Like, no. So Tariq's attorney ends up notifying him. He's at court and he notifies him that a family has actually decided to adopt his sister. But Ghost is one of the most raggedy people from the grave I didn't ever see, okay? Because the way that Ghost be delivering these bombshells, these life-changing bombshells for Tariq, I just don't understand it. And so he made it so if Tariq ever got in trouble, that if Yasmin was put into the system, if she was adopted, then she would basically go to that family, but her records will be sealed, so Tariq would never actually be able to have contact with her. Which is kind of raggedy too, because if you think about it, it's not like he ever thought that Tariq would kill his mother. So he was also being raggedy to Tasha at the same time. I know people like to not like Tasha, but that's kind of disrespectful that he would keep her child away from her at the same time. But who knows? Maybe he knew that she would be going to witness protection. Maybe he knew that Tariq might kill her one day. Who knows at this point? But clearly, Ghost had thought of every single little thing before he had passed away. And so we see that Davis tells him that, hey, like, you know, it's not looking too good for you, homie. All right. And better than that, why it's not looking too good for you on top of what I just told you about this tape? You ain't paid me my money. So let me tell you something. You got till tomorrow to give me my money, or I'm going to assign you a public defender, and then he can figure out how you're not going to do 25 to life, all right? So he's having this conversation. Monet and Kane are kind of like, what are we going to do about money? Because also, too, Davis protecting Tariq also keeps Davis from bringing Kane's name into this case. And so they're trying to figure out how they're going to make this money. What can they do since now Mecca's product is going all to Lorenzo. So Kane has been cut out. So therefore Tariq has been cut out. And so they're trying to figure out what can they do to actually get more money. And so Tariq actually comes up with a cool plan. He meets with Monet, Kane, and brings Braden and Effie with him as well. And they come up with this plan that basically he wants to rob Mecca. He wants to rob Mecca but use GTG. So Mecca would think that it was them, and they would just basically be able to deny it. They have all these plans to keep Lorenzo and Diana busy. And I was like, so now y'all telling, like, Tariq gonna have to hang out with Diana because if he calls, she gonna come running. And then they tell Monet that she basically got to keep their daddy occupied so she can have an alibi so her hands aren't dirty in this, which is actually a really good plan. And so Kane says in order for this to work, they need to actually bring Drew into this, which I was like, now you know Drew finna tell y'all no. And that's exactly what he told them. But Kane tells him, hey, what do you want more than anything else in the world? And we know that he hates Lil Guap for the altercation that happened outside the club when he was with his boo thing Everett. And so he promises him that, hey, I will kill him for you. And then Drew was like, no, I'm going to be the one to pull the trigger. And Kane was looking like, Beach, really? And I was looking like, Beach, really? Like, okay, I know you killed somebody, but you didn't know them. Like, whatever. So that's the deal. And they carry out this heist, which I really love the direction that they had to carry out the heist, how everyone had their little integral parts to it. And I thought it was so dope. It was seriously so dope. But I'm going to delve deeper into that when I talk about the Tejadas. But in the meantime, Davis calls Tariq in about the tape. And so he's telling them that the tape is very damning and that it could really, like, blow up the case. And when Tariq is trying to scratch his head, like, hey, like, who was I wasn't talking to anybody. I took your advice. And so he was just like, I can't play the tape for you. And he was like, so why am I here? And he was like, well, I'm going to leave. All you have to do is hit the space bar to hit it. But I'm going to go to the restroom real quick. Tariq, I was like, this is what happens when people are book smart, but they ain't got no common sense. Because, like, how did you not pick up what he was trying to tell you to do? And the fact that he really had to break that down for you real quick was just a little bit for me. And I was just like, it stands still the school for you because it just went right over his head. So he plays the space bar. He hears that it's Lauren. Of course he's fuming mad. He's so upset. As he's leaving, Sax Raggedy behind pop up. And he was like, hey, he started taking up for Lauren. Basically like, can you please not kill this girl because this will not be good for your case. And he was just like, I don't care. But in the midst of him trying to take up for Lauren, then he ends up snitching on Carrie, that Carrie is the reason that Lauren had to testify in the first place. And I was like, at first I was upset, like, look at you. You can't keep nothing to yourself, Sax. But then I was like, ooh, does this mean that Carrie finna die this episode because Tariq gonna have to take care of her? I was like, I'm here for this. This is when I was like, I was hooked in, I was invested. That I was like, finally, I'm going to get my wish of Carrie dying. So Sax tells him like, hey, you can't say anything to them. You don't need to go around them. He was like, Beach, what do you mean? I have class with both of them the next day. So of course, when he goes to school, actually no, let me stick on Sax's little raggedy ass for a moment. So Sax, after he's given the wackiest pain that I done ever seen to Jenny, because I was like, are you not hard? Like, what is happening right now? Because I was just like, I mean, I don't know what that means to be hard or whatnot because, you know, I'm a virgin if my parents are watching. But they're just not having a good sexual experience right now. And so Jenny is just like, this isn't right. It doesn't feel right. Like, we just did opening statements today. What does it look like with me sleeping with the defense? And he was like, would it be so bad if people knew about us? And then she was like, you trying to do something serious? And I was like, look at Sex trying to catch feelings for Jenny. I knew he had feelings for her. I was like, sorry, you be doing way too much. Chit-chatting with Jenny, taking her for drinks afterwards. If y'all was strictly cut buddy relationship, then y'all don't need to be doing all this in between. I already knew that he had feelings for her. So they end up getting into an argument because Sax Loose Lips mentions the tape and how Lauren is his girlfriend. And she was like, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't tell you that. So how did you know about it? How did you find out about the tape? Okay? Sax, how did you find out about the tape? So, of course, Sax is just a terrible liar in the first place. And so at this point, she gets upset because she's just like, you have put my client in danger if Tariq knows about it. And he was like, I can't tell you no. I can't tell you that we're on opposing sides. She was like, well, bitch, look, your silence is everything. Your silence is the answer for me. So she ends up calling Carrie to warn her about Tariq knowing. And so Carrie's in class, she misses the phone call. And of course, they're having this conversation. The subject of the day is talking about truth and whether or not people lie or tell the truth, whatever the hell they're talking about. But we know Carrie a liar. We know she be lying all the time. Even how she lied and said, oh, I have a family emergency because she left to go take the phone call. Tariq leaves at the same time. And then when she goes to try to warn Lauren, Tariq is in the room. So they don't get really excited. I was like, ooh, this hope's finna die right now. Thank you, Lord. Sorry, Lord. Again, these not real people. But I was getting excited. And so Carrie and Tariq have this very heated discussion. And I like how Tariq challenged her. And it's funny because Carrie has always been good at manipulating people, manipulating the students. She manipulated Lauren. She manipulated Zeke. She's manipulated all of these different people in order to get her way, kind of what she alludes to when she's on stand later in the episode. And Tariq doesn't fall for it. I was like, okay, well, the whole thing with Davis went over your head, but at least you knew when Carrie was trying to manipulate you. But he basically tells her, like, hey, maybe you need to lie for the right reason this time. Because at the end of the day, I'm actually trying to protect Lauren. Whether you believe me or not, I already know how you feel about me, so it is what it is. But if you really want to protect her, because at the end of the day, Carrie knew that she was putting her in danger. She knew that when Lauren would have to take the stand, what would be the repercussions for Lauren after everyone found out what was happening. If it wasn't Tariq, it would have been Monet or Kane to clip her as well. So he convinces her that you need to convince Jenny to let you take the stand. And so when we go to court the next day, Carrie ends up having this conversation with Jenny. Jenny lets her know that Lauren is in protective custody, waiting to actually take the stand. And Carrie basically makes up a lie, telling her that Jabari had actually told her about the novel. She knew about it, but she didn't want to tell the cops about it. So Jenny was like, oh, come on. See, Jenny not thinking. She not thinking, okay? Because Jenny was so worried about getting the little assist to win this case that she didn't vet that out all the way. And so she ends up putting Carrie on the stand. And Carrie basically says that she didn't tell the cops about knowing about the novel because she didn't want to put her own students in harm for her own personal gain, which is exactly what she did to Lauren. She put Lauren in this position in order for her to save her behind while she was trying to cover for Zeke. So, when Davis did this cross-examination, when I said he did everything he could to discredit this witness, but when he started asking her, he said, how many people have you slept with? He said, did you not sleep with the lead detective on the case? And I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's just gonna talk about that. But then when he was like, have we not had a personal relationship? Have you not had a personal relationship with the deceased already? We know that, honey. But also, too, in case y'all didn't know, in case the 3 people involved with the case wasn't enough for y'all to have a sense of a cause of concern about this woman's testimony, let me tell you a little something about Freaky Zeke. Okay? When he brought up Zeke too, baby, and then when he asked her to tell her why it is never allowed for a teacher to have sex with her student, oh my goodness, I was sitting there cheesing. I was cheesing right there. I was like, you know what? If she don't die this episode, I'll let it go. Because the fact that Davis just basically discredited her and told her that she needed to go work on her resume when she got off the stand, I was like, drop the mic. That's all I needed. I could take this embarrassment and let her live for another episode just so she can die the next week, okay? I was dying laughing, okay? So, let me cut to the Tejadas. So at the beginning of the episode, Monet is talking to Diana. She's asking where Drew is. And so I was like, Monet, when Monet said, hey, I need you to figure out stuff about your dad's business, and then maybe I'll trust you again, I said, bitch, didn't you just have this girl choked up last episode talking about you'll kill her? And now you telling her, like, if you do this fake, it felt like a dude trying to gaslight you. Like, you know what? I'm going to forgive you for accusing me cheating on you, even though he was cheating on you. Okay, I see, I might let you back in my good graces. I was like, girl, how does this work? You weren't going to apologize like, hey, baby girl, sorry I choked you up last week. Sorry I threatened to kill you. You know I love you. You came out of my body. I would never kill my kids. But no, she just basically thought that Diana was going to do something for her. And as soon as she leaves, Diana goes searching in her room, because as she's getting a phone call and she lies saying that it's the agent for Zeke on the phone, she overhears Monet saying, Dante, I told you to stop calling me. And so this causes Diana to start snooping in her mama room, and then she ends up finding a Bible in a shoebox, and it has a picture of the baby, and it says Ezekiel cross on the back, and then it has 2002. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I don't be talking about babies, but even the baby picture of Zeke looked confused as well. I'm sorry. Don't act like I wasn't the only one thinking it. Y'all know that y'all was thinking it too, but whatever. I'm just the only one that's going to be truthful and say, Lord, don't judge me. Once again, not real people. So, she calls the hospital, and the hospital's just like, we don't have that name for that year. She's trying to get a copy of the birth certificate. I was like, oh, snap. Now, you know, if it's anything that Diana going to do, I'm going to start calling her Detective Diana, okay? I'm going to start calling her Detective Diana, because it ain't no mystery that she can't crack, okay? Y'all need to go ahead and give her a spinoff and pay me my money and just do Power Book 6 Mystery. That's what y'all need to call it. Power Book 6 Mystery, and just let it be a whole extra. Diana could actually be the new jukebox, okay? She could be like the detective cop in the, you know, the dirty cop that's in the precinct that's helping her family out, but actually solving crimes and cases for everybody else. I feel like that could actually be something. But we see that while Monet is on the phone with Mecca, Kane actually walks in on Mecca on the phone, and I thought that Monet was going to hear that Kane talking about a shipment. You saw how he shooed him away, like, to be like, get out of here, you ain't supposed to be in them grown folks' business. And he sees him put the ring into the safe, and so this guy Kane thinking as well. Lorenzo is talking to Monet about this baby fat tracksuit. I know her ass is probably in her ass titties was sitting in that tracksuit though, so I ain't even gonna fault him for remembering the baby fat tracksuit. But he talks about the time they went to Coney Island, and then of course Monet uses this as the opportunity to keep him distracted. So when Diana leaves the house after she lied saying she going to the game when she's supposed to be going to see Tariq, she goes through Diana's stuff and then finds the condoms in Diana's purse. So now that she knows that she's basically smashing Tariq, all right? So we find out that, you know, Monet goes with Lorenzo. First of all, why y'all have my girl wig crooked? Her whole part was crooked. It was like zigzag. I said, baby, what is y'all doing in the hair department? That was unacceptable, all right? So Lorenzo and Monet, they getting their groove back or whatever, they fake groove back. And in the midst of all of this, they start their heist, okay? They start their robbery. So they make sure that the power goes out. And then Kane basically lays the, you know, puts the thoughts into Mecca's head. Like, you know, he was looking weird. And Mecca was like, what? And he was like, this reminds me of something I did to GTG. And so the whole episode, I'm trying to figure out why was Mecca so upset with the chef? Did I miss something? Because even before all of this happened to make him think that it was a mole in there, he was like mad disrespectful to chef, and I just didn't understand where that came from. Like, I know you in a bad mood because Nene, and every time that Mecca says, every time Mecca call her Nene, I scream laughing because it just don't even sound right coming out of his mouth. But I just didn't understand like why he was taking all his frustration out on him over the whole Monet thing, or maybe it's because he couldn't take it out on Kane because his mama, I don't know, but it just felt a little bit off to me. So in the midst of the power outage, you know, the chef comes back after he checks on it, and then he gets a phone call from his boys at the hangar saying that their stash is currently being robbed. So at the hangar, you know, they basically going to get some military people. So his dude ended up dead, but he gets a phone call saying that one of them got away. They were able to get the product, and they basically continue the rest of their plan. So Brayden shows up in this minivan. Effie was looking good in the little schoolgirl outfit. Effie be looking fine every single episode, all right? I ain't mad at Tariq if the end game is with Effie, because she fine as hell. So she's dressed like a schoolgirl. Brayden has his mom stock her van. So Brayden goes to the front desk and acts like he's like this athlete, upset that the power is down, to get the man to leave the front desk so they can sneak through the front door. Effie comes up with this whole thing about how her grandma passed out. I cannot keep saying Effie's name without saying, Curtis was supposed to love me. I'm sorry, I just had to do that. So they go through this whole plan and everything tends to work out fine. But when Drew and Guap are walking up the steps to get to the apartment, Guap is like saying all this stuff, and then like I guess his apology, he was being mad annoying. To be honest, if I didn't have beef, I probably would have shot him anyway, because I was just like, will you just shut up? We already climbed up these steps. You know I'm tired. Why do you keep talking to me? You know I don't like you. So as an apology or to show respect, he hands him some money and some grills. I said, Beesh, this is what you give me? Like, after all the stuff that you done did, this was your apology? So then Drew pissed me off because he talking all this smack, and then he pulled a gun on him. And I'm like, dude, why you doing all this talking and not just shoot him? I just didn't understand it. So then Guap tries to knock the gun out of his hand. They start wrestling and going back and forth. And I was like, Drew, you so stupid. Like, what was you thinking? But then he ends up choking him with his bare hands. And when I say that baby was focused, he was focused. You saw the veins and stuff in his forehead, the sweat dripping down his head. But he went ahead, he took care of him and killed him. So when when he goes upstairs, he goes upstairs, but then the chef comes back. So I'm thinking the chef finna get him. I thought Drew was finna die. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought Drew was finna die. Because the chef just had way too much experience. I mean, in the military. And then I'm sorry. I shouldn't have never doubted Drew. But at least Kane came back to save the day. He made up a lie when he was in the hangar because Mecca told him to stay there. He made up a lie to get away. He goes and distracts the chef while Drew actually gets out, and they make leave with the ring as the collateral for Tariq to take the ring to Davis in order to help pay for the case. And now when Davis was like, is this a conflict diamond? I said, sir, even if it was, you know you don't care. You know you don't care, all right? So when they come back, we cut to when all of them are finally at family dinner. So Diana cooks his meal. Everything seems to be going fine. But then Detective Diana, okay, Inspector Gadget, want to get up in there and then start asking all these questions like, hey, where was everyone every day? I was trying to get a hold of y'all. And then Drew was like, they was like, well, where was you at, Diana? And then she's like, I was at Zeke's game. Zeke like, I didn't see none of y'all there. I said, this fool stay snitching on people who don't even know it. And then Drew got out of it. Diana tried to make up a lie, but it really wasn't going good for her anyway. So they let it snitch. Diana just started snitching on everybody, okay? She started snitching on everybody. So then Kane snitches. So she snitched on Kane about stealing the product so he could become the Connect. Then Kane snitched on Drew talking about he still ain't clipped Everett. Then Zeke over there like, y'all was finna kill my teammate, man. Like, what y'all doing? I was like, this boy is just so clueless. I just don't even understand it. Then, then Monet bring up how she was smashing Tariq. Then Kane had me cracking up. He said, I knew you was gonna let that little dude hit. Then she dropped the bombshell. Diana said, well, let me tell y'all something. I ain't the only person at this dinner table smashing somebody. I said, ooh, oh my God, you are not finna snitch on your mama like this. You're not finna do it. You're not finna do it. She said, Mama Infidante. I was like, oh my God. They was like, who Dante? And then she was like, I'm gonna kill you. No, she waited till the other bombshell. And then I'm sorry. Then she slammed the birth certificate, Zeke's birth certificate, on the table. So then the whole bombshell comes out, because remember, all of us have been confused about this timeline of when Zeke was born. Is he the oldest? Is he the second? No one knew, but now we knew. She changed the birth certificate, okay? So she changed the birth certificate and said that he was born in 2002, but he was actually born in 98. So he's not 19, he's actually 23. And now at this point, he has violated the NCAA regulations and he could not get drafted. And so then Zeke get all mad. I will say that a lot of people been clowning him that he was going to react crazy in some stupid way. But I actually felt like he was good in that scene. So I'm going to give him his props. He was good in that scene because I was really scared for the words that was going to come out of his mouth. All right? So then, he's sitting up there talking about, Dante, he not my daddy. I know she wanted to be like, she was like, no, Monet not your auntie, she your mama. You been lying to us all of these years. Now, I will say, that's when she said she was going to kill her. But then I thought Lorenzo was going to choke her up. I ain't going to lie. I thought he was going to choke her up. He was real calm about it. He was like, so who's the father? And then she just got quiet. He's like, I think you need to go. And I was like, that's all you. He was like, so Zeke, your son, that's all you going to say? Maybe it's because he already had an inkling of what was actually going on. I don't know. But before y'all try to say how in the hell somebody don't know their age, I'm going to let y'all know now. Story time. So, when I was younger, I guess my mother said she was tired of me being at home. And she was just like, you're not finna stay with me another year. So my mother changed my birth certificate so I could be older, so I could start school sooner. So they said basically for a couple of, I don't know if it's for a couple of years or a couple of months, I had 2 birthdays, okay? My birthday is on October 23rd, but she moved my birthday to August 23rd so I could start school. So it is possible a kid might not know how old they are. So I guess that would make sense why Zeke be looking like a grown-ass man, because he is a grown-ass man. He's 23 years old. I don't know how you can keep someone from knowing. I mean, that means Zeke had to be going through puberty literally in grade school. Like in 4th grade, he was already going through puberty. It's a little weird. I don't know why I'm choking. It's a little weird, but I was just like, he literally had to have been going through puberty in like 4th grade. So it's a little weird to me. I'm gonna let it go. My mama changed my birth certificate so I could go to school early. So I guess she could do it too. So we cut to Mecca, Kane, and the chef. They're wiping out the rest of the GTG. And then Mecca's like, all we have to do left is take care of the inside man. I was like, oh snap. He didn't figure it out about Kane. But no, he ends up killing the chef, which is just so disrespectful. I feel like the chef was so disrespectful in this episode. He didn't even do nothing. You mad about Nene, and then you taking it out on him, then you gonna kill him? Whatever. So Kane feeling himself like, ooh, I was smart. But you saw when Mecca looked back at Kane when he walked out. He probably think he got something to do with this too. So Carrie ends up getting a text from the dean talking about, I need to see you tomorrow. And I was like, right, bitch, because guess what? You finna get fired tomorrow. When I was like, you about to lose your job. That's literally what I started doing when I saw the text messages coming from the dean. Because you know I can't stand Carrie. But I thought I saw she got a text from Zeke. But then she gets in the knock at the door. I was like, of course it's Zeke raggedy ass. Who is it? It's Monet. So Monet shows up. I actually don't think that Monet is going to do anything to her. But then when Monet makes a comment when she says, Zeke is never going to come back to me if he has you to go back to. And I was like, oh, snap, she finna kill you, child. And I was like, yes, she's finna kill you, child. So then we see that Zeke raggedy behind come home to Carrie's place. And then he sees Carrie's little toes hanging. And I was like, yes, yes. I did a little dance, stomping on the grave. Like, ha ha, you did. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna stop. This is not right. This is not okay. The Lord would not want me to react like this, but I was so happy that bitch go. She should have been gone. Now, I didn't care about Lil Guap. He should have been dead a long time ago, because all the stuff that he did, I just don't even understand why they would want him around, but whatever. But Carrie is gone. She's gone. She's dead. Okay? Because even when you saw the preview, that was the preview with her and Jabari in there. You can tell it had the little like dead looking little filter on it. So I was like, great, she's gonna be in flashbacks, fine, but she's still dead. I don't want it to be next week that she hanging on or she in a that hoe better be dead. 6 feet under, okay? She better be 6 feet under next week. I'm gonna have some problems. But yes, this is a really good episode. This was a really good episode. For it to still be 2 episodes left, this was really good. Like, Power Book 2 Ghosts, they've been doing a damn thing. This season's even better than the first season. Like, the writers, kudos to you, because y'all did the damn thing. I am loving this episode. I loved everything about it, especially the heist was my favorite part. But outside of that, Carrie dead, just in case y'all forgot. But those are my thoughts on Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2, Episode 8, Drug Related. As always, my name is Sharonda from Bear Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again.